Now, you understand what's happening here. You can divide up the Republican field into probably 3 sections. One is the establishment choices, that being Romney and Bush primarily. Although, I bet you Scott Walker is going to get into this. And I think Scott Walker, I think, is going to be, I've said this before, but when you hear about this $900 million that the Koch brothers have announced that they plan to spend along with their allies in this election, but they're going to be channeling that money. A lot of it's going to go to states. A lot of they may put some in primaries. We don't know yet. But I can tell you something, that when Scott Walker was running from whatever he was, county commissioner, county executive to governor, it was virtually the AFP, Americans for Prosperity, the Koch-backed organization in Wisconsin, and his campaign were virtually indistinguishable. He is their guy. You recall, was it Mark Ames that made that call? Who made that call? It wasn't Mark Ames, right? It was somebody else who made a call and pranked the Koch brothers.
It was at a site that I think Taibbi had helped set up, but he wasn't there anymore.
And maybe we should have that. We should find that video, and we'll play it over the next couple of days. You can hear Scott Walker yipping and yapping at the heels of the Koch brothers. And so the other thing to keep in mind about Scott Walker, here's a guy who is renowned for attacking unions. He has just stepped up in the past day, and I guess in part as an attack on unions, but also as a way of just proving that he can be just as anti-intellectual as the next guy. He was out criticizing professors at University of Madison to defend his budget cuts for higher education. Maybe it's time for faculty and staff to start thinking about teaching more classes, doing more work. And claiming that his budget cutting is going to allow the administration to make those sort of requests. He would cut $300 million over the next 2 years. $300 million out of the University of Wisconsin system. Think about that attack on higher education. So here's a guy who is beloved by the Koch brothers because he attacks unions. He's attacking education. He still has won re-election now a couple of times, 1.5 times, if you want, in a purplish-bluish state. Sheldon Adelson, remember that guy? He's got a 2-part agenda. One is Israel has to be fortified like Masada, and then the annihilation of every Arab country surrounding it. Well, he's got 3 agendas, I guess. The second agenda is to attack unions. He hates unions with a passion. Thus, Scott Walker is probably quite appealing to him. Third, of course, is to stay out of jail because of what is his work in China. Was that what it was?
I think Macau. He's got multiple,
Yes.
He's
a... So Sheldon Adelson could dump a lot of money in Scott Walker's direction as well. Remember, he put a bunch of money in for Newt Gingrich against Mitt Romney, then, of course, ended up just giving money to Romney, so he's got no problem. So keep your eye on Scott Walker, particularly in the context of this massive amount of money that's going to come in from the Koch brothers.